Good morning, dear students. I am teaching chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants. Getting to know plants. Getting to know plants. I am teaching chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants. And yesterday I taught you shoot system and the stem. Today I will tell functions of the stem. What is the functions of the stem? Functions of the stem. Functions of the stem. Functions of the stem. A stem bears leaves, flowers and fruits. Stem bears leaves, flowers and fruits. Leaves, flowers and fruits. A stem bears, what is the function of the stem? A stem bears leaves, flowers and fruits. It serves as a link between the roots and the leaves and flowers. Second one, a stem and its branches hold the leaves in such a manner that the leaves get maximum possible sunlight. The stem and its branches hold the leaves. The stem and its branches hold the leaves in such a manner that the leaves get maximum possible sunlight. It is arrangement of the stem is like that, so they can get the possible sunlight. That's why they stand properly in the front of sunlight. And when young, it is green and manufactured through the process of photosynthesis. When it is young, it is green in color and it is by the process of photosynthesis. And it carries water and mineral salts from the roots to the leaves and flowers. It carries mineral salts from the roots to the leaves and flowers. And it carries food manufactured in the leaves to roots and other parts of the plant body. It carries food manufactured in the leaves to roots and other parts of the plant body. Did you know why are potato, onion and ginger are not considered as roots? These have root nodes and internodes and scaly leaves. And why are leaves reduced to spines in a cactus plant? In a xerophytic areas, scarcity of water is there. And that's why the modification helps to reduce water loss from the plant body. Why is stem fleshy and green in a cactus plant? Stem takes over the functions of the leaves as the leaves are reduced to spines. Activity 6. Take a glass or beaker with some water and put a few drops of red ink in it, and take a tender twig with leaves and keep it in a glass for 8 to 10 hours and note down your observations. What do you observe? You will observe red colored lines through the stem, leaves and flowers. And what does it show? It indicates that water moves up through the stem, but how does water reach other parts? To find this, cut across the stem and look for the presence of red color. Red color is present around the periphery of the stem in small patches in a ring as shown in figure 7.7a. You can see in the diagram given on page number 74 and 75. The small patches in fact are the narrow tubes present inside the stem. And method B. This activity can also be performed with herbs having white flowers as in balsam, gulmehdi or vinca baramasi. Take 3 glasses water and keep one branch of herb in glass A and few drops of red ink to the water. And now take the another branch of the herb and split it halfway along its length and put two ends in the water in glasses B and C, and put a few drops of red ink in glass B and blue ink in glass C. Observe them after 8 to 10 hours. Then what will happen? You will observe slightly red color in flower of glass A and in half portion of flower of glass B and C, while half flower of glass B and C will appear bluish in color. Then what does it show? What it will indicate? It indicates that water with the color or colored water moved up with the help of tubes present inside the stem, and along with water minerals dissolves in water also move up in the stem. From the stem the water and minerals go to leaves and other plant parts. Differences between root and stem. Differences between root and stem. Differences between root and stem. Differences between root, stem. Differences between root and stem. Root, nodes and internodes absent. In roots, nodes and internodes absent. Roots and nodes and internodes absent. Stem, nodes and internode present. Nodes and internode present. Second one, never green, often green. Never green, it may be. Often green, sometimes it is green. Third one, leaves and buds absent. Leaves and buds absent. Leaves and buds absent. In this, present. Leaves and buds present. Leaves and buds present. Fourth one, generally develops below ground. It develops below ground. It develops below ground. And in this one, it develops above ground. It develops above ground. It develops above ground. It develops above ground. And the leaf. A leaf is a flattened green structure. It arises from the node of a stem or its branches. Nodes of this is the plant, and here you can see that this is the node, and from here leaves arises. From here leaves arises. So what is the leaf? Leaf is a flattened green structure and it arises from the node of a stem or its branches, and leaves differ in shape and size. Perform the following activity 7 to get an idea about the leaves. The flat green part of a leaf is known as the leaf blade or lamina, and it is attached to the stem by means of a short stalk called the petiole, and the region of attachment of the leaf with the stem is called the leaf base. I will draw the diagram, then you can easily understand. Activity 7. Visit a garden and collect leaves of different plants. Dry and press them by keeping them in between newspaper sheets and putting under a box. Once they are dried, paste them in a scrapbook. Now study the leaves for their shape, size and color. Collect some fresh leaves. Place these leaves on a notebook with lower surface facing upwards. Now place a sheet of paper on the leaves and using a crayon, rub it over the leaves and the impression of leaves will appear on the paper. You can prepare prints of different leaves in this manner and use them to prepare greeting cards. From the leaf impression made by you in activity 8, you can find that the leaf blade has many lines forming a network throughout the leaf, and these lines are called the veins. This line are called the veins, and you can see a thick vein in the center, and this thick vein is in the center is called the midrib. And the arrangement of veins in the leaf blade is called the venation. Which type of arrangement in the leaves is called the venation? I will draw the diagram of leaf, then you can easily understand. This is the diagram of leaf, and this is the petiole. And veins. This is the veins, and this is midrib. And this is the lamina. This is the structure of a leaf. It is the structure of a leaf. This is the structure of a leaf. This is the structure of a leaf. And in this, you can see that this is the petiole, and this is midrib, veins, and lamina. And what is the veins? Leaf blade has many lines forming a network. This is the network forming a network. This is called the veins. And midrib, the thick vein is called the midrib. This thick vein is called the midrib. And the arrangement of veins, arrangement of veins in the leaf blade is called the lamina. Arrangement of veins in the leaf blade is called the venation. Arrangement of veins in the leaf blade is called the venation. So till here you will take revision, and till here what I taught today you will take revision.